Good morning and welcome to Cityline, everybody. My name is Chris Surface and I'm here subbing in for Amanda Westbrook today. Thank you for inviting us into your home. We have a fantastic show lined up for you. We're going to get to learn a little bit more about our community. Later in the show, the Peace Bus is going to be making a stop. The Tacoma Pierce County Affordable Housing Consortium will stop by and we'll hear a little bit about connecting the Tacoma Mall area. But first, we'll hear about the Vision Zero Action Plan. So please join me in welcoming Carrie Wilhelm, the Senior Transportation Planner for the City of Tacoma, and Matt Stevens, a Transportation Commissioner for the City of Tacoma. Welcome both of you and thank you for being here on Cityline.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Now, Carrie, I'm going to throw my first question to you.
Okay, all right.
In 2020, the City Council passed a resolution committing to joining the Vision Zero Action Network. Part of that commitment is abiding by Vision Zero's goal to eliminate traffic fatalities and serious injuries in the city by 2035. Can you tell us a little bit more about Vision Zero and the safe system approach?
I'd love to, but first I just have to point out, those are some fabulous socks you're wearing today on this gloomy day.
Okay, fine. Just because it's another day, I'll brighten up a little bit with that. Amanda always gets, but you also have fabulous shoes on. So
Thank
I will
you.
call out the shoes as well.
Yes, got to have the flair in the wintertime.
But tell us about, we've all seen the marketing for Vision Zero, so fill us in a little bit about that.
Right. Vision Zero is a new approach to traffic safety, and that new approach is called the Safe Systems Approach. And Vision Zero has been used around the world and, of course, in the United States. And what it's trying to do is just relook how we approach traffic violence. Right now, if you have a serious crash on the street and you read about it in the newspaper, unfortunately, it's usually talked about in the sense of, oh, someone died, sorry you had some traffic delays. And then it might point a blame at the person involved in some way. And that's because in the United States, we just see traffic deaths as part of what happens on our streets. It's just inevitable, it's what happens. Instead, Vision Zero is saying, no, traffic deaths are preventable. And what you need to do is look at the systems involved, not blame the individual, but those systems involved that are creating those unsafe conditions. And it's big things from the way cars are designed and how fast they, let us go, or if there's the visibility of the pedestrian. There's the driver itself. So why is someone distracted? What's that technology component and how is that, involved? Or substance abuse. Within the City of Tacoma's control, the system we have is safe road design. How we design our streets dictates the behavior of our drivers. And so Vision Zero is taking a step back, saying we can prevent these fatalities, and let's find where the system is broken and try to fix that.
I like that.
Thanks.
That's a great way to approach it. Matt, there's quite a bit of community outreach to create the Vision Zero Action Plan, including a Vision Zero task force. Commissioner Stevens, you are part of that task force. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, so we had 3 meetings, and the city brought in a consultant, and we had a variety of different groups from the community. The Disabilities Commission was a fantastic representative. They had a lot of great points about how to make the eventual plan a lot better. We had members from the Puyallup Tribe, from a lot of other groups within the city, and so we had 3 different meetings. The consultants did an incredible amount of data research to analyze the collisions we've had, the incidents we've had in the city, identify where the streets in the city were dangerous. And so that really allowed us to identify specific action items that we need to change and implement in the city to make the city a lot safer. So we had these 3 large meetings where we got together and we really identified where the city needed to make some changes. And so that we laid out a plan to make those changes so the city can be successful.
Great. Carrie, having Vision Zero as a goal, how does that actually translate into having safer streets?
Well, like Matt mentioned, so we have a plan now. We have an action plan that lays out these are the actions you need to start working on in order to bring those numbers down. So we will be looking at things like what standards and plans do we have in place that are guiding us on how we design our streets and what needs to be changed. Like lane widths, speed limits, the number of crossings we have, the type of safe crossings we have, where our bike lanes are at. So we're going to be looking at these different plans. Additionally, the action plan talks about how we need to really look at these crashes a little bit closer. So we have in there that we need to have a post-crash response team, that when a fatal or serious injury crash comes, We get the crash report, we look at the existing conditions of the road and see, well, what system was broken in that instance that we need to fix. So as we start making these changes, hopefully we'll start changing that driver behavior, that the speeds will slow down, we'll have more protected bike lanes, we'll put in more sidewalks, and that's how the goal is that we'll have safer streets and make it so that those numbers start coming down.
As we start to change things, we always start to hear concerns from our community. What concerns have you heard from the community so far with the new policies with Vision Zero?
Yeah, so initially, especially when council set the goal, we had the concern of zero is unattainable. Why would you do that why would you set that? Zero is an unattainable goal. The other concern I hear quite a bit is that enforcement is the only solution. In Vision Zero, the other things we're talking about are kind of a waste of time. And then the other one is that we have for a very long time prioritized drivers and like that efficient and quick, speed of a driver. And through Vision Zero, we are deprioritizing drivers a little bit, or being like, we're gonna figure out how to slow you down, and then kind of prioritizing our vulnerable road users, such as our bicyclists and pedestrians. And so anytime you have a shift, a change like that, there's quite a bit of concerns. Anytime you try to change a large system, there's generally concerns that come from it.
There are. Matt, as a member of the Transportation Commission, what role do you have in implementing Vision Zero?
So we're going to overseeing the plan and working and trying to hold the city accountable, in that we laid out these action plan items, and the Transportation Commission is going to make sure the city is making progress on those on a regular basis. We're also going to make sure the city is following through on those. We're going to be a part of that response team that Carrie mentioned, and to make sure that's successful and making sure we're doing what we need to do there. So there's a lot of different ways we're going to do that. We're also going to be reporting out to the city, to the community, about the success and making sure that all of these action items are getting completed in the time frame we expect them to get done.
Great. Now, Carrie, in addition to eliminating traffic fatalities and serious injuries with Vision Zero, what are some of the other benefits this plan is going to provide to our great community?
Our streets are so important to the health and vitality of our city. So imagine you have a street that right now is 4 lanes, 35 miles per hour, missing link sidewalks. And now we're going in, we're putting in sidewalks, we're putting in a tree buffer, we're lowering those driver speeds, you might have a bike lane. And so we're encouraging people that now you can get out and walk and bike. So we're helping climate change in that sense, that hopefully we're reducing the number of auto trips on the road, especially in like our regional growth centers, downtown, neighborhood business districts, Tacoma Mall that you'll be hearing about, that it helps the economic vitality. When you have people walking around, and especially in like a business district, business goes up. The more people linger and want to be there versus just drive through, so it'll help the economic vitality as well. So there's a lot of benefits to having just safer, calmer streets, and just that perception of safety too. I mean, we want to be safe in our community. We want our children to be able to walk to school safely, so it helps safe routes to school. It just does so much for our city.
Great. Matt, how will we know when we've achieved that goal of reaching zero traffic fatalities and serious injuries?
So the city has created a dashboard that tracks all of the incidents across the city. And that's going to be updated on a regular basis. And so we'll be able to identify where are we still having incidents, what kind of updates we're making to our transportation system to try to make it more successful. So that dashboard will show us when we hit our zero serious incidents, and it will allow us to really identify some of the high impact areas that we need to focus on even more. And I think the plan that the task force really brought out has several great maps that really highlight where we really need to focus our areas. Carrie mentioned, gave you that description of a road that is an unsafe area. There's several of those in the city of Tacoma, and those maps really highlight that that's where we need to focus and really make some changes to make our more vulnerable road users feel safer.
Great. Is that going to be something that's easily accessible on the city's website?
It is. It's 100%. It's on the city's website. You can link to it right now. Hopefully we have a link we can show.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm sure we do. As a resident of the North Slope, seeing some of these changes has been a great thing coming through. I have a question that I'm going to throw to you really quickly is, how does this tie in with the light rail expansion?
Oh, Vision Zero?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, again, anytime you take off auto, I mean, unfortunately, cars are the main problem of why we're dying. So you have it now that we're using transit. Transit is a very safe alternative. Fortunately, as light rail comes through, we've been improving the roadway as well. So you're seeing a lot more safe crossings going in and those connected sidewalks. So it just really changes the feel when you get the cars off, when you get people walking, taking that safe alternative. Also, transit is just great because it's accessible to all. We need transit. It's something that every person can take regardless of their ability.
It's great to be seeing these changes as I drive
Yes.
through the city. As we're coming towards the end of our segment, is there anything important that you feel that maybe we haven't covered yet that we should know about Vision Zero?
Well, I think the big thing is the Transportation Commission wants a lot more input from the city. From the community. So what concerns do people have? What's going well or what's not going well in their neighborhoods? Reach out to your transportation commissioners. We would love to hear about that and learn how we can continue to make the city better. Does that reflect directly into the Vision Zero plan? Does it go into some other aspects the Transportation Commission is working on? Well, we would love a lot more outreach from the community.
And what is the best way for our community to reach out to you for that?
You can reach out to Carrie is our liaison at City. We also have meetings once a month, and the public is always invited to attend, to comment, and to be a part of that group.
That's wonderful. Thank you for everything that you're doing to help make our community better. I still think to some of those horrible accidents that we see on our city streets and how it impacts our community and especially our young ones.
Yes.
I think back to I Street and the things that have happened on I Street that I'm aware of. But knowing that you are both helping make this process happen is absolutely wonderful and fantastic. So
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Anybody we need to thank that you can think of?
That was part of Vision Zero?
Yeah.
I mean, we were very fortunate. We partnered with community-based organizations to help get the word out. So Golden Bamboo is a big one that comes to mind, a walking group in the east side that took us along Portland and was like, you need to fix this street. So we've had a lot of great partners. Matt mentioned the Tacoma Area Commission on Disabilities has been amazing, and just learning from them on how we can make our streets safer and accessible for everyone.
Second Cycle also led a couple of bike rides.
Cycle.
That was a really great
our community
experience.
Yeah, our community partners have been great.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you for being here today, both of you. Coming up soon, we have the Tacoma Pierce County Affordable Housing Consortium along with the Peace Bus. But first, we're going to hear a little bit about the Tacoma Mall area. So keep with us, and we'll see you after the break.